Good morning. Sabah al-khair, boker tov. I feel honored that one of the last things I do as Consul General in Jerusalem is to speak to the YaLa Young Leaders for the 1 Million Rally for Peace online conference. Although my tenure in Jerusalem recently ended, I'll always be hopeful that Palestinians and Israelis continue their quest to understand and respect each other. My hope is inspired by organizations like YaLa Young Leaders and their 1 million members, including tens of thousands of Israelis and Palestinians and many others from throughout the region. This broad-reaching online community is encouraging exactly because it holds firm to the belief that there are young people throughout the Middle East, regardless of nationality, ethnicity, or religion, who want to find ways to end the hatred, violence, revenge, and fear that's so destructive to peace and to coexistence. It reinforces something that I've said before and continue to believe. Mutual respect and recognition of our shared humanity is the key to the peaceful future all of us crave. I'm pleased that the American Consulate General in Jerusalem, alongside our embassy colleagues in Tel Aviv, has been able to support the YaLa Academy MENA Leaders for Change program. YaLa embodies what my colleagues and I at the American Consulate General have worked so tirelessly to achieve, ending the conflict and inspiring hope in Jerusalem, the West Bank, Gaza, Israel, and beyond. Congratulations to YaLa for its achievements, both past and present, and I wish you continued success in your advocacy in the coming years.
I'm David Axelrod, former Chief Strategist and Senior Advisor to President Obama, and I'm proud to join the many others you've already heard from in congratulating the young men and women of YaLa, now 1 million strong, for providing such an inspiring contrast to the dismal images of violence and division and bloodshed that we've seen emanating from the Middle East in recent years. You know, one of the leaders I most admired was Robert F. Kennedy, who once said, "The future's not a gift, it's an achievement." In other words, you have to work for the future you seek. I salute you for doing just that. Through YaLa's many programs and activities, from the Peace Institute to the Academy to the YaLa Cafe, you are not just hoping for a better future, but you're working for it. The bridge that you're building across the internet, across borders, across divisions ancient and new, offer great hope for the future. And I know that you're the generation that's going to lead us across that bridge. So thank you for building it and for fostering greater understanding among the peoples of the Middle East. May YaLa continue to multiply and grow and continue on that march toward peace and mutual understanding.
Hello, my name is Martin Indyk. I'm the Executive Vice President of the Brookings Institution in Washington, D.C., and I've spent my life, 35 years or so of it, trying to make peace in the Middle East. I wanted to send a very special greeting to all of you who are participating in this YaLa conference with its 1 million users milestone. I think it's really a great achievement for YaLa and a great achievement for all of you, that you come together in this way, forming an online community that ignores the borders of conflict that have created so much bloodshed and war over so many decades in the Middle East. You are a new generation growing up at a time of deep conflict and instability. When you look around you, some of you in the countries and cities and towns and villages in which you live, there is horrendous conflict going on. And it is a testimony to your idealism and your courage that you are all prepared to try to find a way out of the conflict, and that you are prepared to submerge your national identities in a broader identity as citizens of the world who share something very important in common, a basic humanity, a basic human decency, a respect for each other, and the importance of the dignity of mankind, womankind. It's that respect which is the underpinning of a resolution of all of these conflicts. Respect of the other, recognizing what we have in common rather than what separates us. And just knowing that there are a million of you out there sharing that common sense across the borders of the Middle East, uniting Arabs, whether they're Sunnis, Shias, Christians, Muslims, Jews from Israel and its neighboring Palestinian territories. All of you, if you are able to come together in this common cause to elevate your common humanity and do your best to, through communication with each other, strengthen each other so that you can together press your leaders to show the courage of a Sadat or a Rabin or a King Hussein or Yasser Arafat to reach across these borders of conflict and finally bring peace to this very troubled region. So I congratulate you, I encourage you, I hope that you will provide an example to your elders of what the youth can do in these circumstances and what the youth demand of their leaders to provide a better world and a better Middle East region for themselves and for their families.
I'm glad to be speaking to YaLa again. I think what YaLa represents is the hope for the region. The hope for the region at a time when we see the emergence of ideologies that are completely characterized by rejection, that are governed by a sense that there is no one else except what they embody, that is driven by a rejection of the other, that the very concept of tolerance and coexistence is something that they exclude, and that there can be only one truth, and anyone who would raise questions about it must be treated as an apostate. So YaLa represents the opposite. YaLa represents communication. YaLa represents the willingness to talk to the other, to respect the other, to accept that through coexistence and tolerance and mutual respect and the concept of mutual dignity, that in fact there can be a different future for this region, and this region doesn't have to be held back. So from my standpoint, YaLa embodies what is the hope for a region that today is characterized by far too much violence and rejection, and a region that is struggling to define an identity. I look forward to continuing to support what YaLa does. I look forward to the work that you're doing. I hope that you continue to develop and to create connections throughout the region. And I hope your spirit of coexistence and respect for the other can come to describe and define what is, in fact, a new Middle East. So thank you and good luck.
Hi, I'm Aaron David Miller, Vice President at the Woodrow Wilson International Center for Scholars and a former Middle East peace negotiator under both Republican and Democratic administrations. First of all, I want to take this opportunity to congratulate all of you, extraordinary YaLites. Imagine what you've done, 1 million voices raised, both directly and indirectly, in support of a region that's more secure, more peaceful, and more prosperous. No matter what the future holds, that's an extraordinary accomplishment, and you should be very proud. Second, now is the time to persevere. Without hope, there's no life. And while my own analysis of the region is very bleak, you see it too. The fact is, maintaining your principles and your commitment to peace and prosperity when things are going well isn't the challenge. No, character is defined during times of adversity. That's when you need to rise to the challenge, and I'm absolutely persuaded that YaLa will do that. 3, let me say this about adults. I'm 66. The future doesn't belong to us. It belongs to you. And I don't have the right, no one has the right to compromise that future or to mortgage it. You will determine, and you have the capacity to determine what kind of future you want for this region, however hard and however disheartening it may appear to be right now. And finally, let me say something I think you already know. Governments are important. Governments, through their own use of power, they're dealing with political leaders, and politics can actually end conflict. But what governments cannot do is transform. Only people can do that, by changing attitudes, by asserting their values, by cooperation, by accommodation, and by understanding the needs and the requirements of the so-called other. Only when that happens, and you have the power over time, perhaps to begin to chip away in order to do that, will this in effect be a prosperous, secure, and peaceful region. So congratulations, you deserve it. You're a remarkable organization raising your voices in pursuit of a better future, not just for yourselves, but for your children as well. Thank you very much.